How's it going, viewers? I hope you're doing well. Alrighty. So here's another story where I should have died in a car wreck. This was back when I was in 8th or ninth grade. Could have been 7th grade. I can't remember exactly, but I do remember I was still in school. I think it was middle school. But my mom and I were going to pick my sister up from school, from like cheerleading practice or something like that. But it was like February, slushy snow still on the ground, and we were going down this hill where there was black ice underneath slushy snow. So whenever we hit that, we just started sliding off the road, slid through a little culvert, sort of, slid through that, and the right side of the vehicle, where I was sitting, landed on a hill bank. And then we were going fast enough that we just slid through the little culvert, hit the hill, slid across that like 5 to 10 feet. And I was in the passenger seat, buckled up just in time. Literally, right before going that hill, I was unbuckled, and my mom looked over and was like, "You should probably buckle up." And right as I buckled up is whenever we went down that hill and slid off the road. After everything was stopped and calmed down and the car was done moving, after everything stilled and the car was no longer shaking back and forth against the hill, I was like, "Holy shit!" And I looked up because the car was sideways, so I was a little sideways. And I looked up towards my mom, and she was just hanging there by the seatbelt. It looked like she was dead, but then she started moving, and I got out of the way so she could unbuckle and drop down. But I got out of the way, got in the back seat section, and I had a hard time opening up the door because the car was sideways. I had to push it upwards. And then we both climbed up out of there, stood on the road for a little bit, and she called my dad, and then he showed up. And when I was sitting in the car with him, telling him about it, he asked me if I said anything after the wreck, and I was like, "Yeah." I said, "Holy crap." And he was like, "Did you say crap or did you say the actual word?" I was like, "The actual one." Thinking I was going to get in trouble, he was just like, "Yeah, that's my boy." And I still have no idea what that meant. I've wanted to ask him, but he doesn't give the right answers anyway, so it's a waste of time to try to ask him anything. But that was my Suburban wreck incident with my mom. That was a fun experience. The next day, I went to school like, "Hey guys, I almost died in a car accident last night. I shouldn't be here right now." And that was a story that I talked about for like a week, maybe. But it's here now, forever. Don't forget to use my sponsor code, Golden Memory, at checkout for 10% off on W. I really hope you enjoyed. If you did, leave a like, comment, let me know, follow me, subscribe, do what you will, but please spread peace, love, and positivity any and everywhere you go. I'm out.